My name is Dr. Kevin Pecca. I wanted to make a podcast that exposes people to the true miracles of life and health. All the guests on this show have been specially picked because they bring something positive to the world. They have some of the most amazing and inspiring life stories. These people have a passion for living, healing, and leaving the world better than they found it. There is something inside these people that made them keep fighting through all the tough times, even when people told them it was not possible. They carried on and made their lives beautiful again. And now they are sharing their experiences with the world. This is the Expect Miracles podcast. Enjoy the show. It is an honor to have Dr. Michael B. Dibley on the podcast today. His passion and enthusiasm for the profession is unrivaled, and he is always spreading the good word of chiropractic. He is constantly traveling all around the world to give health talks and educate people about what chiropractic truly is. He is the founder of the Institute for Human Potential in Norway. He also has a website, discoveryourpotential.com. We have a great episode today. Please welcome Dr. Michael B. Dibley. Dr. Dibley is a chiropractor out of Norway, correct?
That is correct, my brother.
Yeah, and I think you have a pretty interesting story of how you ended up there and everything, so we're looking forward to getting to that. So, Dr. Dibley, where are you from originally?
I came on planet Earth, Iowa City, Iowa, 1983, March the 14th. It was 3 days before my father graduated from Palmer.
Oh, so your dad was a chiropractor too, huh?
Yeah, still is. My dad still is. 35 years in practice, Elkhart, Indiana, top ranked, Dibley Chiropractic Center for the last almost 30 years. I think they had number one ranking there.
Beautiful. So when did you get your first adjustment?
That was probably after my father helped cut the umbilical cord, which is probably 7-8 minutes after birth, and then I was checked. And yeah, so let's say 7-8 minutes into it.
That's fine. I have so many people all the time that don't even know that you can check babies and kids and everything. And I'm like, that's the best time to do it. So, Dr. Dibley, what were you into growing up as a kid?
As far as hobbies or what?
Everything, yeah. Hobbies.
Oh, man. Everything. I went to private Catholic school my whole life. So it was soccer and it was baseball. It was golf in the summer, tennis, swimming. My mother was a state champion swimmer. My father played rugby for Palmer. We were a real athletic family. We come in after our after-school snack, and we have to be outside until dinner time. We weren't allowed to be inside, no matter what season it was. So
really?
Yeah. I grew up on a compound on a plantation home, Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad.
Of course, yeah.
So our property is on the Underground Railroad, and it's on 7 acres. So we had 5 acres of forest and 2 acres of yard of grass and pool area, sauna, and stuff like that. But so we were always outside building forts. That's what I was
awesome.
into.
That's the way it should be, yeah.
Yeah, building forts and riding bikes and going to the library and doing my newspaper route when I was 12. I was into everything that I knew of at that time. Played ice hockey my whole life.
Yeah, me too. It's a great sport.
It's a great sport.
So, Doc, did you know from day one you were going to be a chiropractor, or was that something you kind of found later?
I felt innately always pulled to it because it was like weekly adjustments, but I went to school with the Broderick family, and they all went to Palmer, and in my class was Sean Broderick, and we always joked about how we're going to become chiropractors from, I don't know, probably 2nd, 3rd grade or something. We'd go back and forth, we're going to be a chiropractor, and my dad's a better chiropractor than your dad, and I grew up in this chiropractic universe.
You grew up in the epicenter of chiropractic.
Yeah. So, like, the thing is I didn't even know another school existed, man. I didn't even, I had no idea. Like, we heard about Palmer from day one. We used to go to Lyceum every August. I've been adjusted by Fred Barge and Sid Williams and a lot of the people that are responsible for forming our profession as we know it today.
Absolutely, yeah. So you went to Palmer in Iowa. So, Doc, how did you end up overseas?
Well, I have a really beautiful partner. I have a really beautiful girlfriend, Dr. Katrina Zvala. So I met her when I was finishing up the last little bit of my prerequisites, which was, in this particular, was chemistry, organic chemistry. And so I was in chemistry lab. I see this girl rolling through with fur boots. This is before girls were wearing boots like that. Before they were popular, she was wearing like real fur boots up to her knees. And then she had these beautiful, like, Scandinavian eyes that were so blue. I was raised in an Italian family.
Yeah.
So it was just like this beautiful being. And I was just like, I got to meet this girl. My dad, I don't know, maybe 20 years before that, 25 maybe now, maybe even more. He had a patient, he had a practice member while he was a student named Betty Gorman. And Betty Gorman went to the BJ clinic. And one year we were back for Lyceum, he saw the house was for sale. and he called up, bought it on the spot. It was her house. She had died, and he just loved this woman, adored this woman. So that was our house at Palmer. We still have it. It's run on 825 Persia. Yeah, my sister Emily's there now. She's living there now. So long story short, I met Katrina there in the lab, and then I pointed at my house, and I'd love to cook, and I had dogs. I said, hey, listen, if you want to come over for a proper meal, just come on over.
Beautiful. That's all it is. Very direct.
And I tell you what, Doc, she was over in the next 24 hours, and it worked like a charm, and we've been just...
That's beautiful. So she swayed you over to Norway after graduation?
You know, it's funny. I started working with my father and my uncle in practice, and that was really wonderful. And I really got to see just the most amazing side of my father and my uncle and how they serve people, love people. The magic ingredient to practice, which is just loving your patients, your practice members, taking care of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Being a good person, giving them hugs, giving them love, being inspiring and optimistic. But I just felt like in a way it was a little too easy, and I was the younger Dibley that was supposed to take over the office. It was just, to me, it wasn't enough of a challenge. So I had an offer to go to Italy with Dr. Gabriele Melinverno down in the south where my family's at in Puglia. And then Katrina said, you know, we're not going to.
She stayed in the States after graduation. You guys were doing your thing together. And then, okay.
Yeah, no, she graduated a year ahead of me.
Okay.
So she was with my father. My father mentored her for almost a year. And then she went back to Norway. So by the time I got to practice with my uncle and my father, she'd been in Norway. And she said, we're not going to Italy. Italy's where you vacation, and Italy's where you drink wine, and Italy's where you... It's not a place where you run a practice. And so I couldn't argue with her there. Domani. Tomorrow. So then she goes, listen, I'm going to talk to the docs I'm working with now, and long story short, I got an offer from them. And I said, sure, let's go over there. Let's do Norway for a year, 1 year. And, you know, that's your educated mind. I said 1 year, then we'll come back and help my family build out multiple locations. It didn't work out like that. I've been over here almost 9 years and have grown over 9 offices, bought, sold, partnershiped, internshiped, 9 different practices in that time. And now we're rated as the #1 clinic in Scandinavia.
That is awesome. Now, what's it like being an American trying to start a chiropractic practice in a foreign country that you didn't speak the language yet, or you did, or...
No, I didn't. I spoke a few words, but as you know, being American, quote unquote, Norwegian isn't something that's widely spoken on planet Earth. There's only 5 million Norwegians in Norway. There's another 5 dispersed throughout America. So you're dealing with maybe 10, 15 total on planet Earth out of 7.4 billion. So the first time I heard Norwegian was through Katrina, right? At 21 years old. So I knew very little language as far as the Norwegian language, but I knew chiropractic. And I knew how to help people, and I knew how to find a subluxation, and I knew how to adjust people very well. And I knew that, and that's what I knew. And then I just had to learn lifetime care, lay on the table face down, lay on your side, come back tomorrow, here's what we're going to do, maximal potential. So I started with like a couple words and then built on that. But it's the energy and the love, and that's what really taught me the true essence of what we do as human potential, because I didn't have the BS type of small talk words available to me. Like, how was the game, man? How was the game? I saw the Jets last night. I saw these people. So it wasn't like that. It was chiropractic.
Yeah. Well, Doc, you're a man on a mission, man. And I love your enthusiasm for the profession. It gets me excited every time I hear you speak. Where does that come from?
You know what? I was raised by really cool, really amazing human beings, and not just my parents, not just my father and my mother, but my grandmother taught me service. And it wasn't like a lesson, like, now here we're going to talk about service today. It was the way that she lived as an example.
Absolutely.
I had a lot of these examples around me, and, you know, like I said earlier, I had it made in the shade, man. When I was graduated, I had, like most would consider, a dream position at my dad and my uncle's office, and I just realized that if I was going to do that, that's fine, but I needed to test myself away from the nest and away from the comfort. So it was like, what makes me driven is the very essence of what we do, which is human potential. I want to see how many people we can help, how many people we can reach, how many people we can get reconnected before I physically pass. And I just made a decision, man. I didn't come over here to tool around. I came over here to own, operate, and run the most prestigious, the most powerful, impactful human potential center on planet Earth. Because if you're away from everything you love, your family, your friends, everything you know, then everything else is a perk. The sailing is a perk. The secondary, third homes is a perk. All that stuff is perk. I didn't come over here for that. I came over here to serve people. So it was like sink or swim in that direction. And I wasn't going to go home, quote unquote, before I had changed the landscape and made chiropractic a household name.
Absolutely. So it's one thing to open up your own personal office and help out your community, but you are reaching a chiropractic globally. How did that start? I mean, how did that even come into being?
Well, I think it comes back to moral obligation, number one. So number one is I've always been morally obligated to chiropractic because of what it does. When you see someone literally come back to life, especially a child, anybody for that matter, but somebody with the innocence of a child, right, that comes back to life after being told it's over for you and you have no hope, it's one of those things where you realize given this, for you to squander it or for you to just use the gift when it's convenient for you isn't really up to you. We've been given a very, very sacred gift to give to humanity. So as you give that gift and as you serve that gift and as you see more and more people and as you perfect your craft, work your craft, more and more people notice what you're doing, come to the office. We have people from all over the world come to the office every single day. So more and more people fly in, chiropractors, celebrities, all kinds of people come in to get clear, to get connected, to get checked. And then that just snowballs, man. And then you get called and asked to come over to Mexico and run a mission trip. Then you get called to speak over how we met in California at a university. And then you get asked to help found a university in Scotland. And it's from relationships, man. But it all comes back down to that moral obligation of we're not here just to eat, pee, poop, and go to sleep. We're here for a purpose and a reason. And I've been fortunate enough to uncover the purpose, which is to reconnect man the physical to man the spiritual, to help people.
Absolutely. We have a whole profession out there, and it gets a little muddy, gets a little different, and sometimes it's tough to communicate the chiropractic message because other people just aren't into what you just said as chiropractors, and it's so sad to see. What is your message in trying to get the profession on the same page? And
profess ion. Profess ion. What are we doing as a profess ion? What kind of energy are we putting out in the world? I was just at a meeting earlier today up in Oslo, Norway, which is the capital of Norway, with one of my advisors on my board. And we were talking about this very thing because a lot of the chiropractors over here and around the world, they're very happy to treat, quote unquote, treat musculoskeletal problems only. And they go, you know what? They gave us this and they gave us this to focus on. This is where we can be impactful. The only issue, and I agree, I said, that's great. However, chiropractic is not about any symptom. Chiropractic is about a healthy, clear nervous system, period.
Yes.
The symptoms dissipate after you go to the cause, as you know, Doc.
Yeah.
So the issue with when we get in and we get locked into neck, low back, headache, musculoskeletal, whatever symptom, whenever we get locked in, even to 10 of them, the issue is it limits our potential as a human being and as a profession. A great question for all those doctors out there, and I take care of some of the best medical doctors on planet Earth, great question for you to ask yourself is this. What in the body is actually doing the healing? Is it you? Is it your hands? Or is the body naturally hardwired to be healthy?
Yes.
Right? Great question. So I think that we have to honor the intelligence within, the innate intelligence.
Absolutely. Can you touch on innate intelligence and what you believe that is to be, just the listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we give a weekly health class. So now in the flagship office in the European headquarters of 360, the Institute for Human Potential, a 360 clinic, we have 5 chiropractors, doctors of chiropractic now, and we have a massage therapist, best in Norway, acupuncturist, best in Norway.
In your office?
Yeah, in our office. So the point is we have quite a bit really high quality staff and doctors. So everybody takes a day, and so every day there's a health talk. So vet-based marketing, there's always something to invite people to. So in regards to innate intelligence, we cover this in the health talk every single Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. And what we say is, the question that I pose is, what is life? Because we have somebody that's alive, quote unquote, right here, and we have somebody that's passed away, dead. I don't like the word dead, but who's pronounced not living anymore of this world. Here, they both have nervous systems. They both have brain, spinal cord. They both have stomachs, hearts, etc. What's the difference? And then we'll start to go, oh, that's interesting, because people think it's the heart that keeps them alive, or the nervous system, or even the mental impulse. The point is the energy has left the building. And I think as a religious person, you call that, as a religious person, you might call it the soul. Mm-hmm. As a doctor or as an agnostic, you might call it innate intelligence.
I'm very curious of what you call it.
For me, I'm not offended. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Mm-hmm. And I know that everybody's trying to say the same thing.
Absolutely.
Like the Palestinians usually actually agree mostly with the Israelis and vice versa, even though on the news they wouldn't like you to think that. So I feel like when you really get in there and talk to people around the world, I literally just flew back from Punta Cana from a mastermind, and I had to go through Switzerland. So I interact with people every single week from around the world. I honestly, bro, I have not had an issue. I think that we got to turn our TVs off.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so the more that you connect with people and the more that you understand the human condition and what's going on, then you realize that everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to be connected. Everybody wants peace, prosperity, abundance. Everybody wants the same thing. So what I call is innate intelligence or soul, but usually I call it innate. That's how I grew up and was taught and raised. I like the word. I think it's very descriptive. It's important. So the semantics aren't important for me, Doc.
I agree, yeah.
The fact that we recognize and honor where the power comes from is important. And I'd say the greatest message that we have is human potential specialist, which is the upgraded form of chiropractic in my eyes. The chiropractic is really pure. It's really perfect. However, it's like a profession with a perfect message with a lot of imperfect people, and that's okay. But we have to really understand those, especially for those people out there that are listening to this, that are going to get locked into a symptom or say, oh, thank you, AMA, thank you, governmental agency, for letting me treat a neck, low back pain. Okay, that's fine, but you know what? That's not what it's about. That is not what it's about at all. It's about a healthy, clear nervous system. And a great question to ask people is, hey, is it your headache that's the problem, or is it your lifestyle? Now, when we ask that question, people are intelligent. I have never had anybody tell me it's their headache. So once we empower people, and that's what chiropractic's really good
Absolutely,
at,
yeah.
empowers people, the message is powerful because I say, listen, I'm top-ranked chiropractor. I'm top 10 best chiropractor in the world. As a ranking, I say, but what's better than me and what's 10 times more powerful than me is your innate intelligence.
Right.
The best doctor in this office right now is inside of you.
I completely agree with that because some people talking like, I got this person better, I did this for them, and it's like, you are missing the point. You are way out of bounds there. You are removing the interference to help that innate intelligence do its job of healing the body. And yeah, that's scary when people are walking around saying, I did this, I got them better. It's like...
Yeah, well, we speak in we. BJ speaks in we.
Yes, he does.
We speak in we. Even if I'm alone, I'll say, we had a great time with you. They go, we? Was there somebody else there? Yeah, innate intelligence is myself. Innate intelligence is my educated. We speak in we. I always say this. If I've done anything really brilliant, which I've been fortunate to get the credit for, I always say, listen, that's not me. That's my innate intelligence.
Yeah.
That's because I got myself out of the way. Now, if I've done anything foolish, that's my ego.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I love talking to people that have like a huge respect for BJ Palmer because when you read like a green book, I just can't believe what he's saying. Like when I read that book where he said when he called himself I and then transferred it to we, like that whole chapter is just mind blowing. Yeah,
I have. I'm looking at it right now to the left. Bigness of the fellow within. Yeah.
Yes. I think that my favorite one's The Glory of Going On.
Yeah, I have that one too. They're great.
That's good. That's a breath of fresh air right there.
It certainly is.
So, Doc, what are you doing now and what are you up to? What's your goal here?
Oh, it's HPM. It's human potential movement. We've upgraded the lingo. We've upgraded the lexicon. Still keeping the chiropractic principle pure. Another thing BJ was talking about was the fact that he said, time was and always will provide humanity with methods that best serve humanity. Chiropractic is of no exception. There will be an evolution in chiropractic. And I believe, and I see the effect, it's beautiful to see it at Life West. So we started the human potential movement in chiropractic. Human potential movement had started, I think, in Pennsylvania or something in the 1960s.
Really? Okay.
But listen, truth be told, I know very little about that particular movement. I went to the mountaintops in Norway, and I said, what's the essence of what we do? And the essence of what we do is we increase every single human being we can get a hold of, get them on the table and get them clear and connected. We increase your potential. We increase your ability to express your life. And that's the essence. So I think we need to focus on the effect of what we do. And we have not broken a 7% market share because we keep talking about the technical side of what we do rather than the effect or rather than the benefits of what we do. It's like Steve Jobs. He wasn't selling a computer. He was selling a lifestyle and a mindset. We need to start selling a lifestyle and a mindset to our public, and they come right along with us because everybody's looking for that. Everybody's looking for a better life that's drug-free, that's natural, right? Everybody. You offer people, hey, listen, you want to go drug-free or do you want to do a bunch of drugs? Oh, people pick drug-free. It's every time. Well, our message is radically popular, but our packaging has not been upgraded for a long time, and I feel like we've done a really, really good job. And I say we, not just me. I think we've done a really, really good job of setting the tone for the next 100 years here with the Human Potential Movement.
Dr. Dibley, I'm just curious, what is the healthcare system like over in Norway compared to the United States and in Europe in general?
Yeah, it's very similar in the sense that it's not a healthcare system, it's a sick care system. It's designed, in fact, in Norwegian it's called sykehus, sick house, rather than helsehus, health house. So it's a sick care system. In other words, it's reactive, it's not proactive, it's not preventative. However, we do get some compensation through the government as chiropractors for taking care of people, so that's a great thing. But it's really predominantly a system that's built around and for medicine, which, again, I have nothing against medicine. There's a time and a place. However, I think we're using it all wrong. Chiropractic is something we use on a regular basis. Acupuncture, eating healthy, thinking positive, meditating, having intimacy with our partners, going for walks in nature, being connected. This is something we do every day, weekly, monthly. Medicine was never supposed to be a lifestyle profession. By the way, medicine is not a lifestyle profession by any stretch. The average medical doctor passes away by the age of 52. It's a radically unhealthy lifestyle. So medicine, because of its power financially of selling products, also known as pills and many other things, then what happens is it gets a lot of funding behind it, investors, it goes public, IPOs happen.
Billions of dollars, yeah.
Right, and then you have a bunch of bozos sitting on boards of so-called medical companies that have nothing to do with healthcare or medicine at all. It's all about numbers and crunching numbers, and that, at the end of the day, they got to please shareholders. So here's the good news, Doc, is people are waking up to that.
Yes, they are.
People are sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's not a sustainable system. Everybody knows it. The truth is out. Chiropractic is radically popular right now. It's not a better time to be a chiropractor. However, 7.4 billion people on the planet that want you, that need an answer from you. You've got to step up and package this thing called chiropractic so you can actually reach them.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I'm really passionate about right now is the Human Potential Movement and then helping other doctors grow and actually not just doctors, but other healthcare professionals grow their practices and help serve more people. Yeah.
Well, the thing that really gets me is I have so many patients that come in the door and they say that they've been told there's no hope. Somebody that comes in with Meniere's, I have ear ringing, the ENTs don't know what to do, it's incurable. They literally tell these people that they are never going to get better. Who are you to tell that to anybody? And it's chiropractic can help that, fix that, and then when you turn that person's life around, they are your biggest advocate, and they are spreading the message, and it's such a beautiful thing for someone to get their life back like that.
Oh, it's heaven, man. It's heaven on earth. Like when you're in the flow of serving people, and we're a results-driven company, right? So we're a privately held company, and our company, no matter who you are, where you're at, you're going to have to pay to be in our office, right? We've never turned anybody away, by the way. So
I feel the same way, yeah. There has to be some sort of, that's how the world works, give and take.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is the nice thing about that is when people come and pay you from their own pocket, it's saying a heck of a lot because it's saying that, hey, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want an answer and I want results. Because the thing is, people do not pay, and this is something you can quote or put on repeat, people do not pay for excuses. People pay for results.
Right.
So if you're a results-driven company and a results-driven clinic, that's the thing I always tell people. Listen, I just happen to like to talk. I could be a total introvert and say nothing to you. The principle's the principle.
Yeah.
I'm totally freaking addicted to results and radically awesome results where people, like, same thing you said, people come in every day and it's like, it's almost like they were talking to a kindergartner or something. You know, like, who told you that? Like, who told you that that's incurable? Who said that will never get better? Who are they to judge that? That's not even in their Hippocratic oath. Our Hippocratic oath is the first do no harm and to serve people. And it's just hilarious to me that, but then again, it goes back to scope of practice because their whole profession is so focused on, you have a heart surgeon, you have a cardiologist, you have a neurologist, you have an ENT, you have all these different things. We're chiropractors. We know every single bone, tissue, muscle, nerve, everything in the body, front to back, back to front, side to side. We know the system. And we also look at the system in relation to the big system, the universe. And that is where we come in and kick some major butt as doctors because of our understanding of the major premise that the universe is intelligent. It would not make something that could not heal itself. It doesn't do that. The universe,
Yeah.
right? So what our philosophy, our integration of our mastery and anatomy and physiology, our art, when we actually apply those beautiful adjustments that I know you apply every day in your office and the millions of chiropractors around the planet. Actually, I shouldn't say millions. There's hundreds of thousands of chiropractors around the planet that do that every day. Beautiful, beautiful things happen. It's not magic. It's not voodoo. It's a principle of life. You are meant to be healthy.
Yes, that is so beautifully said.
Thank you, brother.
Definitely. Anything else you'd like to touch on? And
yeah, I would say, so you asked what we're into. I'm really passionate about success. I'm really passionate about doctors of chiropractic, healthcare professionals in general that are committed to excellence. I'm really passionate about these guys getting, and girls getting very successful. Why? Because quite frankly, we have a sick and dying world. We have 57% of people have a chronic illness on planet Earth. We got to get busy. We can't just work until we have our house paid off or we paid for our boat or our second home or third home or whatever. It can't be about that. You've got to be morally committed. It's got to be people-centered. You got to be on call 24/7, called to serve. And so that's why I love our 360 Global Mastermind, our 360 Global Ambassador Program. This is where we train hard every day, every week, every month, every year, and we get people's heads right out of their butt, and we get them focused on the big idea and the big picture, and then we give them implementable, practical strategies, what they can do right now, today.
Well, that's what the profession needs, because I feel like there's a ton of chiropractors out there with the light switch off. And how are you supposed to help? You can't pour from an empty glass. You yourself have to be feeling it so you can help your patients. And I feel like the more specific care and detecting the subluxation we can do, which, do you think something needs to be implemented in the schools, changed, or how do we go about doing that? Because I loved my education. I have nothing but good things to say about LACC, but I was just not taught any philosophy or specificity at all in adjustments. And it might not be their fault, but it's gone. And that needs to come back. So how do we do something about that?
Well, I'm really proud of one of our partners, Brett Jones and the Kairos Training College. I'm really proud of those guys for stepping up and training on the artistic side of things. I think they're doing a great job. I think that to change the schools, you got to look at how everything's governed, and it's a policy thing. Like, it's all these people. This is why I always, when I cross the border into America, which I do at least once a month, I always thank border security, because those guys are getting shit on all the time. Oh, cops are the problem, and then police. No way. Hey, listen, buy them a coffee, buy them a banana. Would you like to go out there and deal with that crime? So I think that a lot of times we dog on the schools, and we don't realize that they are just following the policy, right, of the administration, Ion. So we got to look at the CCE. We got to look at how we're governed as a profession. And if we don't like something, we got to get off our butts and get into legislation, get into lobbying, and start to really get to work. Because you can't just yell at the schools. I can't believe you did it. Because the schools literally are like the police officers. They follow that's why it's called police. Police follow the policy. So you can't yell at the police officer. They're trying to bring home their daily bread. They're trying to serve and protect. It's just like most doctors. I firmly believe most doctors got into being doctors because they wanted to help people.
Right.
So I think what happens too is, as students, that we need to get off of our butts, right? I know I certainly did. And go to every single seminar, go to every single person that speaks. If you want to see someone speak, call them up and ask them if they'll come to your school. I have a call right after I got off with you with soon-to-be Dr. Colton Wood out in Texas. I haven't been down there to Parker, but he goes, you need to come speak to our school. I want you to line up. I'm going to do an all-school assembly. I said, I'd love to. So we're setting that up. You'd be surprised. I would always say this. Very successful chiropractors are always giving and always generous. I've said this on other interviews. Successful people in general are in a state of extension. How can I serve? How can I help?
Absolutely.
Unsuccessful people are in a state of flexion. They have something to hide, right? They're scared. They're a fear-based model. So I think it's not just like one answer. I think we have to look at the policy, right, that's set out. If we don't like it, we got to get involved. We got to join organizations that support our ideals. If there's no organization, we got to make our own, like Tim Young did in Oklahoma, like the IFCO's done. Like certain organizations that said, you know what? I don't see an organization that represents me. Let's make one for us. So there's never really an excuse, because there's no power in victimhood. And as chiropractors, we have to be empowered if we're going to really shift humanity and be that beacon, be that lighthouse for all those 7.4 billion ships roaming around looking for safe harbor.
Yeah. Dr. Dibley, so I would one day love to do all the traveling you do. You go around the world speaking and everything. I would love to do that one day. How do you manage a practice and travel and speak and do all that? what's a regular week look like for you?
A regular week. Regular week. That's why I've designed my life. I don't like regular. I go crazy if I'm not moving and shaking, so to speak. I want to get as many people reconnected as possible. So a regular week for me is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm in the office serving our people here in Norway. On Thursday, so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursday, I usually fly out of Oslo, right? And I'm going to a speaking gig, doing a seminar, or I'm seeing specialty clients, our VIP section up in Oslo, right? Serving those type of people. And then I bring the family with me as much as I possibly can. So I'm around the kids a lot. I get a lot of family time, which I really like. So the schedule is designed for that. Also, we have a world-class au pair. Leora runs the house.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally awesome. So she's Filipina. She's from where Manny Pacquiao's from
nice.
General Santos in the South Island of the Philippines. So when she came on board, I said, listen, because the thing is, when you come to 360, you'll see why it's so successful. It's not just the results. The result behind the results is all the millions of procedures behind that. So we're really organized people mixed in with passion and hard work, and behind all that is a moral obligation to get as many people reconnected as possible. It's a really good winning formula. I would say to all your listeners out there and all the doctors out there and all those aspiring young doctors and even people who have been in the game for 25, 30, 40 years, listen, I hope this re-inspires you to get busy, to get out there and start taking care and serving more people. But like I said, once you do something really well and you really fall in love with it, because I go all in, like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm totally there. Totally there. Like with you right now, I'm totally here.
You're there, yeah.
I say presence is really what is the precursor to excellence. I always say this example. It's pretty funny. But I always say, do you think Monet was painting with a Big Mac in his hand? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or an ice cream cone or like he was painting. Like that's what he was doing. You think Michelangelo was like, hey, give me another glass of wine while he's upside down at the Sistine Chapel losing my eyesight. So you got to be all in. You got to be PTC, present time consciousness. You got to be super organized, right? And you got to have one of my quantum sniper tools is I always have the best phone. I always have a Mophie that's charging me up. I always have the best MacBook Pro. So there's some practical things that need to happen in the modern day if you're going to move and shake and go about the planet effortlessly. You got to know how to travel.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts, a lot of probably trial and error on your part, but you got to learn and get better every day, yeah. Yeah,
but the thing is, I innately thrive on the very principle of adaptability. So I love being in different countries, climates, temperatures. Today, I had a meeting at 9, I had another meeting at 10, and then I was done by 12:30. So during my lunch hour, I went to the spa. I went crazy sessions in the sauna, the steam, and in the cold, and I repeated that 5 rounds crazy until I was blissed out. And then I got back after it, right? I got back after it and had another meeting and then picked up the kiddos, hung with the kids, and now I'm talking to you. So a normal week is not a normal week. And I would say you have to thrive. You have to thrive on adaptability and change. And we're so blessed as chiropractors because we get to take care of people. Like, can you imagine, right? Like how many people we take care of that you would have never thought, like, I can't believe that. I didn't know that thing. I didn't know that you could farm that over there. Or I didn't know that company existed. Or I didn't know there was a truck called the Diamond T that one of my patients restores these things.
Yeah.
I think you have to love people, man. I think you have to really
you meet a lot of amazing people.
And that's what I fear.
Yeah.
That's why I shouldn't say fear. False evidence appearing real. That's why I'm a little concerned about the millennials and the new generation because it's like, I don't see them. I see that's the number one thing. They have all this information, but they don't look at people in their eyes, and they don't give them a hug, and they don't ask them to talk to people.
They don't know how to talk to people anymore. It's all digital in their hand. Like no one's looking up. Nobody is looking up.
That should be like a thing in Jersey, like no one's looking up.com. That could be a website. But seriously, but no one's looking up. And again, where's looking down? Looking down is survival.
Yeah.
Right? Looking up is thrival. You see a vision. Yeah. I'm going way over there. When you're sailing, I've done quite a few regattas. Yeah. When you're sailing in the middle of the night and you can only rely on your instrumentation, your GPS that's lit up with LCD, you have got to look out. And when the sun comes up, you look out at the farthest point you can see. You're going over there. You have to start looking up if you want to thrive. You've got to stop looking down quite literally. Yeah. You have got to stop looking down. You got to look up.
Absolutely. So, Doc, if there's any, I like to ask all my guests this, if there's any piece of advice you have for the people out there takeaways from your life, just important messages you've got over the years, what would it be?
I would say don't waste your time. Your life is a gift. Stop wasting time. Stop right now. Make a decision. Make a decision to do something with your life. Make a decision to help serve more people. If you don't have a purpose, that's not even true. Everybody has a purpose. You either have been too lazy to find it, or you haven't done enough things to actually weed out the other things. Do that crappy job. Work as many jobs as possible so you find out what you hate. I always say to people too, like, people always tell me, I don't know what to do. Hey, go find a bunch of things you hate. Go find a bunch of things you don't like so you can check those off the list, right? So the point is get busy doing something. It's like my mother always told me when I was young. Do something even if it's wrong. You see too many. Don't stay still. Keep moving. You can sleep when you pass away.
Don't stay still.
And this is what we say to our people. We die standing. We die standing. We are military-grade sniper human beings. We go after our targets, and we attain our targets, right? So we die standing. We do not wait around for an opportunity. We create opportunity. We do not wait around for somebody to fix our life. We fix our life, right? So take responsibility and really listen. At the end of the day, life is an amazing, mysterious, beautiful gift that you have been given, that we have been given. And I would say it's like Maslow's hierarchy. Once you have your health, once you're clear and connected, then you have to find your purpose. And their purpose has got to be intrinsically driven. So I hear that a lot too. Oh, it's my smoking hot wife, or it's my kids. I love my girlfriend. She's super, super sexy. She's beautiful. My kids, beautiful. But that isn't the driver. The driver is the moral obligation. I think whatever you're doing, if you're a truck driver out there, listen to this. If you're a mom, if you're a doctor in a prenatal unit, if you're a chiropractor, if you're a human potential specialist, if you're a banker, trash man, you have got to get morally connected to what you're doing. In other words, you got to say, what I do is important on so many levels. It's integral for the people around me, for their lives to function at optimal. And so just become an artist of life. Become an artist of life. Do everything. Everything you do it artfully. Do it lovingly. Do it with intention. And also I would say, start with gratitude. That's number one. That's the gateway to enlightenment.
Yeah. Dissolves negativity.
Yeah. I just laugh and I go, I guess I'm supposed to meet some people here. And I did. And those people are very, very interesting. And we got them reconnected to a chiropractor in Switzerland. So life is not against you. Life is for you. Yeah. So that's what I would say. There's a lot of things I would say, but that was like in a nutshell.
Yeah. I agree. We'll have an episode strictly on that.
For sure.
We'll bring you back on. Well, Doc, thank you so much. Really great episode. Great reconnecting with you. You're on fire. Thanks for everything that you do, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Takes one to know one. I love and appreciate you, Kevin. Keep lighting up your people in the great state of New Jersey and around the planet. Your work does not go unnoticed. Giving an adjustment in New Jersey is giving an adjustment on Mars. That energy goes reflective on the quantum. So doing great work with Expect Miracles. We're very proud of you, and thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you enjoy the podcast, subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a review. It really helps boost the podcast and spread the good word. My chiropractic practice is located in West Orange, New Jersey at Montclair Upper Cervical Chiropractic. You can also find us on Facebook at Montclair Upper Cervical Chiropractic. All of my information is on my website at drkevinpecca.com, drkevinpecca.com. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Dr. Kevin Pecca for podcast episodes, patient testimonials, and educational videos. I have daily affirmations and inspirational quotes on Instagram at Easel Affirmations, EASEL Affirmations. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at drkevinpecca@gmail.com, drkevinpecca@gmail.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Cheers.